looks like we may have some movement on the Green Lantern Corps TV show that was supposed to come to HBO Max.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I remember this being announced. It feels like The Flash. It feels like this was announced so long ago.
Yeah, no shit.
And I don't know if I banged this drum enough on this show, but like, it is insane that we're going to have Black Adam and Hawkman and Dr. Fate, and we're not even going to have another shot at Green Lantern. Like, it's not that hard to just It's been 10 years since the Ryan Reynolds movie. Like, people have, for the most part, forgotten about that movie. Like, obviously there's the jokes about the suit and everything, and like, it's not a great movie, whatever. But I'm just saying that, like, people still want to see a badass Green Lantern movie.
Yes.
Because Green Lantern, in my mind, is one of the coolest characters in the DC universe, just because of just the Guardians and Oa and how the willpower works and the fact that they're space cops and like Green Lantern is such a cool character.
Yeah.
And it's shameful that we haven't seen a live action
Green
Lantern in a long time. But we might have some movement. Now, there's some disputes to this. So there was a report from the website Backstage, and from what I've gathered, it like posts casting calls and stuff like that. It's for actors. Mm-hmm. It's like a resource for them. Mm-hmm. So there was a report from Backstage that notes that the team behind the upcoming series is ready to look for additional casts after officially casting Jeremy Irvine as Alan Scott and Finn Wittrock as Guy Gardner, respectively. Which is interesting, because originally when this show was announced, it was going to be like a buddy cop movie with Hal Jordan and Jon Stewart. And I jokingly called it Lethal Lanterns, because they said they wanted it to be like Lethal Weapon. Mm-hmm. But now we're hearing that Alan Scott is in it. Now we're hearing Guy Gardner's in it. So, okay, they really are going to expand on all of the Green Lanterns?
Also, the original Green Lantern wasn't a Green Lantern, Alan Scott, in continuity.
Well, I don't know. Maybe they're doing something with... I don't know. Because, but the Green Lantern with Alan Scott was like a magical thing. He was like a sorcerer.
Yeah, the Golden Age Alan Scott Green Lantern had... I can't remember what... I do know that his weakness was wood. No shit. Look it up.
It didn't get any better because the color yellow was the
so stupid. I love Green Lantern, but honestly,
that is the dumbest part of his lore.
The first fucking issue should have been like, I'm Green Lantern. I'm Sinestro. Anything I use will kill you. Anything I use will kill you. Stab, stab, die, end. It's a stupid thing.
It's dumb. It's dumb.
I have yellow, and you can't stop yellow. I have green, and you can't stop green. So we're going to kill each other.
I'm glad that they retconned that out of continuity, and they kind of just got rid of that because it is pretty stupid.
There's one, I got the original stories, like the very first Green Lantern, like printed stories. Mm-hmm. I got like volume 1, and it is so bad. At one point, a guy throws a yellow lamp at him, and he literally, the panel is like from behind Green Lantern, and the lamp is coming through his green force shield, and he's got this startled look like
oh,
the lamp is yellow, and then he gets fucking clocked and knocked out. No shit. Oh, I didn't realize it was yellow.
Intergalactic policemen, and their biggest thing is the color
fucking
yellow.
Schmuck. Follow that taxi. I can't because it's yellow.
I can't. Yeah, I couldn't get in the kid's
son of a bitch. You son of a bitch. That's so fucking great.
Do you want that mustard? No, get that away from me.
There's another one where he's...
Can he eat a hot dog with mustard on it, or is he fucked? Because it's yellow.
There's one also issue where he's trying to stop a car, but it's yellow.
Oh, God.
But then he realizes the tires aren't yellow.
So it has to be completely yellow. I got it.
It's because the tires are black so he can puncture them.
Yeah. Wow.
What a
I gotta say,
what a turd.
As terrible as
I still love Green Lantern, but honestly,
as terrible as Frank Miller's All-Star Batman and Robin was, by far the best scene is when Green Lantern is trying to confront Batman and he meets him and he's pouring a glass of lemonade and he completely painted the whole entire room that he's in and himself yellow, and I'm like, That is the funniest thing. That is so stupid. I
Yeah.
love it.
Yeah.
But the rest of the book sucks. But, that one particular part was pretty hilarious.
Well, it's Frank Miller, so
Yeah, it, yeah. Yeah, it, not good. Anyway.
It's one thing to like understand that a creator is a bit of a fuck.
Hey, he's apologized for that.
He has.
He's repented for that.
Really?
Yeah.
Good for him.
A lot of his stuff has actually been pretty,
we need to allow people to change.
Progressive. And
the problem is that if you read like The Dark Knight and 300 after learning that he was a conservative talking head for a while, you really, really see all of the conservativeness of those projects, like a lot. It's pretty funny.
So it's also unclear on who else might be on the radar for the series, although there are plenty of iconic characters
I'm gonna play
to pull from in the world of Green Lantern. The report also mentions that the production on the series is set to start sometime later in the year in Los Angeles. However, HBO Max did not respond to the reports and noting that the filming information isn't accurate and there is no official update on timing as of now. So they're trying to dispute it because it could be a possible leak because they haven't had a lot of movement on the project. I don't know. I still think that it's unfortunately a while out before we get a Green Lantern anything.
It's barely in pre-production.
It's stupid. It's so stupid that they haven't had the balls to just make a new Green Lantern movie and it's like you said, all you have to do is make it Law and Order in space. That's all you have to do.
Mm-hmm.
And you can even have Guy Gardner and Alan Scott, or not Alan Scott.
Hal Jordan.
No, Guy Gardner.
John Stewart.
Alan
Scott. You said it. Alan Scott, yeah.
The one with the black one with the green arm guards and
Simon Boz.
Oh my God! Forget it. I've lost it. He's another white one, is what I'm saying. After Guy Gardner.
Hal Jordan.
Oh my God, dude!
I don't know any other white Green Lanterns. Alan Scott was the Golden Age one. He's not even a Green Lantern in the comics anymore. But he was at one point, yes. He took over for Hal
he was
Jordan.
the only Green Lantern at one point.
Yeah, and that's just DC being DC, just going, how can we fuck up these glorious loved properties?
Yeah. But I don't know. Maybe he's in it too. I don't know. But I don't know. I don't have any confidence in this project at all. Yeah, I don't really see it seeing the light of day for a while, even if it does, because it's just like The Flash. I still don't think that movie's gonna come out.
Flashpoint we'll never see.
It's like a Morbius. When is that gonna? It's never gonna come out. I'm gonna see this trailer for 3 years. But I just thought that was interesting to talk about because we've been talking about how we want to see more DC content on HBO Max.
Yeah,
and
a lot more.
Yeah, I need to catch up on Doom Patrol.
Me too.
I've heard
Titans
isn't very good.
I wouldn't.
I don't think I'd waste.
I wouldn't toss Titans 10 minutes.
Well, it's like when I've been watching Halo, I think I have to come to realization that if I keep trying to justify why I'm watching the show, or why I think it's good, it's probably not good.
Well, here's the thing: the Teen Titans came out. For some reason, they were DC's answer to the X-Men was the Teen Titans, and which still makes no sense to me. Like how, why? But it was because they were young people struggling with their power. Basically the Teen Titans comic series was the first DC series to actually treat their protagonists like real human beings with problems and shit.
Yeah.
So basically they were just gritty. And Robin, okay, you're always going to have Robin or at least a guy named Dick Grayson in your team. I'm out.
Why?
I'm fucking out.
Why?
Robin is stupid. It's a dumb...
But you like Nightwing, right? You don't like Dick Grayson. Dick Grayson's a great character.
Okay.
I will die on that hill.
That's fine. I'm not disputing that. I just don't have any evidence.
I would argue he's a better Batman.
Whenever I read that
Than Bruce Wayne.
that a character is a fan favorite, like Nightwing, I'm like, who?
God, you're being such get off my lawn right now.
I'm so a Marvel turd.
Yeah. You don't like anything DC does. You fucking Green Lantern. I'd like to see that. No, you wouldn't.
No. Generally, yes, I would actually. Green Lantern's one of my favorites.
I know.
I don't know why, but and a lot of it is biased from growing up reading most Marvel. Again, we had to get our shit from a newsstand. There were no comic shops, so whatever they had on the rack in the QT is what we were able to procure. Yeah. But a lot of it was Marvel. Sorry,
but so let me ask you this: if there was a Nightwing show on HBO Max, would you watch it?
Mm-mm.
Which is pretty much what Titans is, but
probably not.
Why?
It doesn't hold any interest to me. It's just a guy who's really athletic and really smart.
Let me ask you this:
in a suit.
There's a CW show. I was gonna axe it from this and not talk about it this week, but we can briefly talk about it. So there's a game. This is what's silly about this, and Young Justice did this too, because there's the Young Justice comic books, but then there's a Young Justice TV show.
Yeah, the cartoon.
That's different than the comics.
Yeah.
And I think later, I haven't watched any of it. I've been meaning to, but I think in the later seasons they kind of tie together the comics and the show. But anyway, they're doing something similar at CW right now because there's the video game Gotham Knights that's coming out, but there's a TV show based on has the same title, almost the same premise, but it's not tied to the game at all. And I don't think I want to watch it because for whatever reason, and this is what you're saying about like Nightwing and stuff, like the CW for whatever reason has built this idea of like, let's make Batman. It's like Sony and Spider-Man. Let's make adjacent characters, but without making a Batman show.
Right.
Let's make a show about Batman without Batman. And it's like,
why?
Like and I'm not the guy that's like, oh, Batwoman shouldn't exist because of the woke bullshit. I'm just thinking my response to Batwoman is, why would you start with that? Why not start with a Batman show and then spin her off into her own show? You know what I mean?
DC like totally just trying to copy like Marvel, but they're not doing it right. Like they're like, look at how well Guardians of the Galaxy turned out. Let's make properties of all these other characters. And it's like, no, that's not why it was successful. It was successful because it was heartwarming and funny and a great movie.
What I think HBO Max should do.
Let's not show Superman or Batman or Wonder Woman. They're off limits. Why?
Because they're for the movies only.
No, you're just asking them, and they're like, because you're Warner Brothers, you still own them. You've never had to sell them to another property and wait for the rights to revert back to you, like Marvel, which is why they used Iron Man and Captain America and Thor, because those are the only guys they had rights to.
Well, yeah.
They had already sold away Spider-Man and the Hulk.
The original Avengers aren't those members. There's some of them are, but not.
You own Superman.
Anyway.
You can put Superman TV show anytime you want on the fucking CW.
But, again, tying this back to Green Lantern, I got to be honest, you could beat up on Marvel in the TV because Marvel, while I don't think...
Yeah, you could.
While I don't think they produce a bad TV show at all.
Inhumans.
I think... No, I'm not counting ABC. I'm strictly counting the Disney Plus.
Gotcha.
Disney Plus stuff. Because yes, you're right. That show is dog shit. But
I tried watching like 10 minutes of it and I was like, oh!
But
it just couldn't do it.
I'm talking about the Disney Plus stuff. The 6 shows that they put on Disney Plus.
Yeah, I mean they're not
while they're
generally good.
They're good. They're enjoyable. It's the MCU thing where it's like it's not bad. It's enjoyable, but it's not like it doesn't stand out. But what I'm trying to get at. It's for whatever reason, other than WandaVision, they had, and that's only because they had 30-minute episodes while everybody else had hour-long episodes. Yeah. They locked themselves into this idea of 6 episodes for everything, and it just doesn't work.
Yeah.
While it worked for characters we already knew, like Hawkeye and Loki and Falcon and Winter Soldier, WandaVision, those can benefit from the 6 episodes, even though they felt rushed. They could benefit of not trying to do that.
Yes.
Moon Knight, you're trying to tell an origin story in 6 episodes and make a big fight scene. And whereas DC, you don't have those parameters, so you can make a 8 to 10 episode season and do that. Why not? And put Green Lantern on it. Forget Flash. You fucking ruined Flash for TV for a while because you refused to cancel it on the CW. And I don't know why. It's gotten worse and worse.
Arrow's canceled.
Yeah, well, Arrow ended, yeah. But do something like that, and yeah, don't be scared to do a fucking Green Lantern show. Don't be scared to do a Superman show.
Don't
and
be
They're not even look at Superman and Lois. People love that show, and it's them doing like. So I don't understand why they haven't sat down and were like, let's make a Batman TV show. Why? Because they feel that only Batman can be in movies.
You know what other show that I really fucking hated that was like Batman adjacent kind of? Gotham.
Yes.
Fuck right off. What a stupid show. I do appreciate the guy who played the Penguin. He did a really good job. But why? I don't want to see. It's like the Patton Oswalt joke. He's talking about George Lucas and like, so I'm redoing I'm gonna do the prequels. Oh, finally, cool. Hey, you like Darth Vader? Yeah, I love Darth Vader, man. He's so awesome. Cool. In the first one, you're gonna see him as a little kid.
Oh.
And then he's like, oh. And he goes through each of the prequels, right? And then at the end of it, he's like, yeah, it doesn't sound very good, George. He's like, you look like you're kind of depressed. Like, yeah, it doesn't really sound good, George. Would you like some ice cream? Yeah, some ice cream would sound really good. Well, here's a big bag of rock salt.
Well, and
make your own fuck.
I just want, I think it's only healthy that DC make a good, and they could beat up on Marvel. And that's the thing. Every time they've had a chance to get and do something before Marvel, they miss out. The one time they did it right was when they gave Wonder Woman her own movie.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't do the cyborg stuff, and which honestly, I don't know if I've said this publicly, but I do want to apologize to Ray Fisher because I think he was probably telling the truth.
Yeah.
And while the only reason I said no at the time, or I didn't know if I believed him at the time, is because he wasn't giving evidence. But
I hate to say it, but just look at Joss Whedon. He looks like a creep.
But yeah,
he does.
Anyway,
he just looks creepy.
Let's move on.
Let's do
from one thing to another. Well, I really hope we get that Green Lantern show soon. But
Me too.
Not holding my breath.